Hello and welcome back to another setup-unifi.com video. Today we're going to be setting up a ubiquiti-mesh AC access point system with a pre-existing home router. So this is just a quick setup guide, nothing too detailed. Let's go ahead and jump in. First thing we need to do is get everything unpacked here. Alright, now that we have everything unpacked, we just need to take the final bit of wrapping off of everything. We're going to be connecting our PoE injector into our 110 outlet momentarily. Don't forget to remove the little black rubber covers on your access point. Just like that. Alright, now that we have everything unplugged and ready to go, or well, I should say unpacked and ready to go, let's go ahead and get our home router. So I have here a normal Netgear home Wi-Fi router. Most people will have something like this or whatever their phone service provider has given them as a part of their install. So we're going to be setting up on this to match the majority of users' homes with their pre-existing systems. So let's go ahead and get some power here. And we're also going to need to get a connection from the modem. I have a modem from Spectrum under the desk, and this is just the wire coming from that modem. So I'm going to put that into my internet input port on my router. Next, I need to go ahead and get two Ethernet cables here. One cable to connect from the router to my PoE injector, and then a second cable to connect my AP to my PoE injector. So let's start with the router. On the back, we'll just find an open port. Plug into port number 1 here. On the PoE injector, we will plug into the LAN, the local area network port, just right here. And on the wireless AP, we need to press down and slide back on this little panel. In here, you've got a standard Ethernet port. We're just going to take our Ethernet line, put that guy right in there, and close this up, just like so. Then I'm going to take the other end, plug that into the PoE port, just like that. So now, the AP is going to begin booting up. You'll get a white solid light on the side of the AP whenever it is finished. But that's really it for the hardware setup. I have my computer, my laptop, wirelessly communicating to my router currently. We will be disabling the wireless connection on this router. Of course, that's going to change for every router out there on how to do that, so we won't be showing you how to disable that. If you don't know how to disable it, that's fine. Just instead of connecting to this network, connect to the new network that we're going to set up on this. So let's go over to the computer and see how to get our master AP set up. Alright, here we are back at the computer. So we're going to start by going to ubnt.com uap-ac-mesh.com, and then clicking on Downloads on the right-hand side. Click on Unifi up on the upper left-hand side. Then go down to the middle of the main page. Click on Unifi Network Controller. Click Download. Click I accept and download the file. Once the file's downloaded, you'll need to open that file up. Once you click the file, it's going to go ahead and open. You'll need to hit Allow changes to be made to this computer, then click Install, wait for the system to install the application, and then click Finish. The controller is going to start automatically, so this little window is going to pop up. It's going to say Initializing Unifi Controller. Just give it a minute to start. And then once it's ready, you're going to get a little green light here, right there. And then you click on Launch in Browser. On this screen, go ahead and just click on Advanced and then click Continue there. That screen is just there because the application is hosted on your computer, not on a proper server, so it shows up with that little warning message, but it's perfectly safe. Alright, on this screen, you're going to go ahead and select United States if you're in the States and the time zone. Leave backup settings on. On this screen, it shows the mesh device already on our network. We're actually going to skip this part and skip on over to setting up the SSID and password. So I'm just going to name my network here. I'm going to call it My Wi-Fi. Then I'm going to enter my password. And then from here, if you need guest access, you can actually go ahead and enable it here. I don't, so I'm going to click on Next. Now I need to set up the local account for the software, so I'm just going to use admin, and I'm going to use a fake email address here, but use your real email address. Admin at Yahoo's just fake. And I'm going to create a password for this local account. Click Next, click Finish. And don't worry about this. This is just the iCloud logging, or not iCloud, Unifi Cloud login credentials. Don't worry about it. Now, here we are on the main dashboard. So you need to go over to the left side, click on Devices. In Devices, you're going to see your new AP, and you'll see that it needs to be adopted to the network. So we're going to go ahead and click on Adopt on the right-hand side. It's going to start that process. It's going to provision first. After provisioning is done, it will auto-apply your network settings to the AP, and the AP will become active in the controller. Alright, and now the AP is connected. So we're going to go ahead and click on the AP to give it a name here. In here, we're going to click on the little config gear. And then under alias, let's just name this main AP, AP for access point. Now this is an arbitrary name. It can be anything you want. I've just chosen that. So I'm going to click Save, and that shows up in the controller on the left-hand side. This is just for our reference. It doesn't actually do anything to the performance or setup of the network. Now we're going to go over across the building and set up the remote access point. Okay, so here we are on the other side of the building. We have our AP and our power supply here. We're going to be hooking it up to this wall outlet and then wirelessly communicating with the other AP that's on the other side of the building that we had just set up. So we're going to start by plugging it in and then plugging power into the power injector. Sorry, I'm having to do this one-handed, so it's a little bit difficult. So once we have that, just make sure that the power light comes on. All right, so next we need to connect the Ethernet line into the PoE port on the injector. So that's going to be the port that says PoE and is marked in red. Make sure that we get the cable in the right way here. Yeah, so there you can see the red PoE marking. From there, you're going to take the other end of the cable, plug that guy right into the AP. So just take the little door off here. And sorry about this. I have to kind of set the camera down a bit to be able to do this one-handed. But we're just going to plug that guy in, just like so. There we go. All right, so once it's in, I'm just going to straighten out these antennas again. Then you've got the door. Just close that. It'll just slide in like so and click into place. There we go, just like that. So now that you've got that, you'll see that the light on the side of the AP will start. Okay, so here we are back at the controller. You can see that in the time it took me to walk back from the other side of the building to over here, the AP is actually booted up and is wirelessly communicating back to our main AP. You can see it says pending adoption wireless. So we're going to go ahead and hit adopt here. Also, in the event that it doesn't show up, you may need to refresh the page. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hit adopt. You'll see it says adopting. We'll give that a minute to do its thing. All right, now you'll see that it is provisioning and it's connected. Last thing that I recommend doing is clicking on the AP, going over to the config menu, and giving it an alias, again, just so that you can remember what's what. So I'm going to call it remote AP and hit save. And let the network reprovision. It will connect. And you'll see that it is all good to go. You're all set up. You've got a lot more settings in the config tray as far as what you can do as far as channels and everything, but all that is, of course, much too detailed for this demonstration. So that's everything. Your mesh network is set up, and you can follow these steps for as many APs as you want to deploy.